Hi, this video is going to serve an exploration into Python f-strings. F-strings were introduced in Python version 3.6, and since then have kind of become the de facto for string interpolation within Python. Before these f-strings, there are 3 different ways to format strings. I have them all listed here. I'm not going to necessarily go into them, but all of which I find personally confusing to read. That syntax is a little weird sometimes, and as you'll see, the f-strings kind of provide the same output but with a minimal syntax. So all of these examples here are going to print out hello world. You can see that here. Now to do this within f-strings, what we do is we lead with a f for the f-string, and we print a string we want, and then the variable we want to replace within these curly brackets. So let's create a variable called variable, and let's set it equal to world. So I would expect this to print out hello world, and it does. Alright, so let's see what else we can do with f-strings now. So concatenation works as you would expect. You can concatenate raw strings with f-strings, and f-strings with f-strings, vice versa. So we can do something like this. Let's name it variable, and so this is a f-string concatenation with a raw string. It's going to print out hello world again. You can make these both f-strings, whatever. An f-string doesn't need to have this curly brace in it. If we wanted to put raw data types within our f-string like this, there's a few different ways to do it. We want to be careful about the quotation that we're putting in. So if I were to put in a hello world like this, you gotta note how I have these double quote here with a single quote. If these were to both be double quotes, it's going to fail. One way around this is yeah, see, I get the syntax right there. One way around this is to use Python's triple quotes, and that way, no matter what kind of quote you put inside of these brackets here, it doesn't matter. So this is a way to put raw strings inside of the brackets of f-strings to be evaluated. One example I like to do with f-strings that I typically use a lot actually is to round numbers. So let's create a number with a lot of decimals after it. What I want to do is round this to 2 decimal places. I can do this pretty easily with f-strings. So what we do is it's called a format specifier. So we specify this by doing a colon, and it takes in 2 parameters now. It's the width after the string, or the width of spaces before the string. So we're going to do 0, dot, and then the precision. So I'm going to do 2, and I want to specify this as a floating point number. So I expect this to print out 1.13. It does. So I want to explain this width thing right here. So let's do result with a colon like that. So right now it's going to print out result colon 1.13. If I wanted to put, let's say, 10 spaces between the result and the evaluation of this f-string, I could do that by putting the width to 10 like I did here. And you see that down there, there's about 10 spaces there between them. If I didn't put this f here, it would print out 1.1 as the width of the string. It's not going to know this floating point. So instead of, by putting the f here, you're specifying the amount of decimals to come after. What else can we do? So f-strings, they evaluate what's inside of this bracket here. With that said, they evaluate the expression rather. So with that, we can actually have it evaluate a function. So I'm going to create a function called foo, and it's going to return foo. And now let's evaluate this function within our f-string like that. Bam. So to me, this is a lot cleaner than having a variable store the output of foo like this and then putting that within the f-string. Instead, you can just have it output directly to the f-string itself. So This is just kind of a basic video to cover the syntax of F-strings, so a few examples, just some basic formatting. If you want to learn more about the topic, I suggest reading the PEP 498, which has the specs for F-strings going into Python 3.6, or the Python docs on F-strings, both of which I'm going to have linked in the description below. And if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribe for similar content in the future.